Alright, time to go ahead and make our way to the cast room now. Jeez, definitely off this way a bit. Well, I almost went right past it. I wasn't even paying attention to the map. It seems our Imperial guests have already arrived. It's time to meet the ambassador.
What a pleasure it is to see you once more, Lord Hien. Not to mention my dear sister.
A pleasure to see you too, Ambassador. Forgive us our late arrival. You have our people aboard the airship?
Exactly as agreed. We would leave you in no doubt as to the purity of our intentions. I dare say it was the self-same spirit of cooperation which prompted you to bring Yotsuyu here today.
Indeed. Before excluding her from the exchange, I thought it only fair that you see her condition for yourself. Physically, she is in fine health, but her mind is unchanged.
So I see. But all need not necessarily be lost. In anticipation of this tragic turn of events, I took the liberty of inviting some special guests.
Ah, Yotsuyu. You look well.
Of all the people.
Is something wrong, dear sister? These are our beloved parents. Does not the sight of them bring back sweet childhood memories?
Gosetsu. I have to take this to Gosetsu.
It would seem my little surprise was not sufficient. You needn't glare at me so, Lord Hien. I merely did what any loving son would do for his family. Lest you doubt, I am content to leave the acting viceroy in your care. Pray, treat her as you would any daughter of Dorma. Do not grow too fond of this place, dear sister. You will come back to us ere long.
We continue with the exchange as planned, then.
Very good. The structure across the river should serve our needs. We shall await you there with the conscripts. If you would bring your captives.
Agreed. Until then, Ambassador.
Yeah, her memory's starting to come back, that's for sure. No better than to trust Sasashi, but that was a dirty trick. Still pleasant as it was, we have at least put the matter of Tsuyo's future to rest. I've sent her back to the Enclave of Ugiri to give Getsu his precious Primsaman. Come, let us follow them. Yeah, that look often odd. What is it? Oh, nothing of consequence, most like. We can discuss it upon our return. Oh, it took us all the way back here. We should pay Getsu visit to Kagetsu and reassure him about Tsuyo's fate. He'll want to know how the Empire has finally relinquished its claim on her.
Gosetsu, are you awake?
My lord, come in, come in. When Tsuyu returned, her eyes were red from weeping. She spoke not a word, simply sat and peeled some fruit she'd brought for me. She then claimed weariness and retired to her chamber. Tell me, what happened to upset her so?
The ambassador arranged a surprise reunion with her foster parents. A misguided attempt to restore Yotsuyu to her senses. It was plain their presence caused her great distress, but she seemed otherwise unaffected.
Yotsuyu was mistreated as a child, was she not? It was a cruel trick to use her tormentors like that, knowing the pain it could cause.
I like this Asahi less and less.
Be that as it may, he has agreed to allow Yotsuyu to remain with us in Dorma. Our primary concern now is to hand over the prisoners without incident and bring our people safely home.
There was one other detail at the meeting which caught my attention. I assume you all noticed the rather suspect crates within the castrum. The Imperials were quick to retrieve them afterwards, but I wonder...
Out with it, brother. You fear they might contain bombs or war machines?
If the ambassador wanted me dead, he has had ample opportunity. No, assassination is not his intent, But we should be on our guard for other acts of treachery.
My lord! Forgive me, but the Lady Yotsuyu, she's gone!
Gone?
I beg your pardons, my lords. I was certain she'd fallen asleep.
No, no, the responsibility is mine. 'Twas I who gave her a room instead of a cell. She may simply have wandered outside. We will organize search parties. Might I call upon your assistance?
I don't like this at all. This doesn't feel like it's a misguided tent buyer this time.
Help! 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 Help me!
If only I hadn't remembered. He should hate me. But I will not suffer his kindness. Not after what I did to him.
Who's there?
Oh, it's you. What are you doing out here in the dark?
This is the Enclave, is it? When the soldiers dragged us back to Doma, you were the last person I expected to see.
You're the bane of our existence, Yotsuyu. A font of misery. You couldn't even do us the simple courtesy of dying, could you? Oh, no. You had to live and taint us with the shame of your failure. We had a perfect life in the capital, and now they're making us wallow in this muddy ruin like common swine. I don't deserve this.
Now, dear, that'll do. There seems little point in berating the girl when she scarcely remembers her own name. Our time would be better spent contemplating how we're to survive this unhappy predicament. You've kept your looks, at least. I suspect you'd fetch a handsome price with the right buyer. Maybe enough to get us to Kugane and start a new business.
Ah, my beloved parents. No sooner do I wake from gentle slumber than the world returns in all its cruelty. Yes, this is how it always was. how it was meant to be. Very well. If I cannot escape my nature, then I shall embrace it. To the very depths I have sunk, my soul steeped in spite and rotten to the core. The self-righteous hide behind justice, but I need no such mask. Father, Mother, was it not you who made me into this monster? Who taught me the truth of this miserable world? For years I knew naught but the taste of pain and humiliation. But the time has come to savor my vengeance against Doma. Against all my enemies. And it begins with you!
Yotsuyu!
What?
Well done, dear sister. Did I not say you would come back to us?
Brother dearest, what a surprise. You always were a cold-blooded little worm. I doubt you thought twice about sending our parents to their deaths.
Your dagger yet drips with their blood, and you presume to judge me? To be frank, I didn't think you had the strength to slay them so cleanly. A single thrust each. I'm impressed. But surely you can't be satisfied with murdering a pair of doddering elders. You yearn for a deeper vengeance, and the power to see it through.
Please. I don't want to die.
Any sign of her? What happened here? I knew what would happen if she recovered. And still, I did nothing. You say she left with her brother? Whatever he wants with her, he was willing to pay for it with his parents' lives. But this is neither the time nor the place. We must gather the others.
Wow, that was definitely a turnaround. We have covered the Nezu's remains, and we hold the cremation anon. But they had never again set foot in Doma. Bert the News could get to himself. He was quiet. I think it best that he be allowed some alone time of his thoughts. So, my friends, that which we feared has come to pass. Yetsu has regained her memory and returned to the Imperial fold. It is by any measure a cool twist, not least for Gegetsu, but one for which that does not invalidate our agreement. According to terms of contract, we are bound to surrender Yetsu into the Guardian's hand should he condition of proof prior to the hour of the exchange, and by that reckoning, all is, if not it should be, then it must be. This I can accept. But what can I accept is our constitutional lengths to which Hisashi went to achieve this outcome. Given his recent conduct, his apparent admiration for Xenos, it is plain he cannot be trusted, and as to say nothing of the unexplained containers he insists on bringing to our meetings. Whatever the ambassador is planning, I think it's unlikely our negotiations will end peacefully. In the event of hostilities, the safety of the conscripts must be our first concern. As such, I would have an escape route in place before the meeting begins. Wise precaution, if the main structure of Castrum Fumius is to be the stage for our exchange, then I believe a thorough inspection is in order. The Siena has stood empty ever since the Imperial withdrawal, and we took steps to ensure that it could not be defended by an occupying force. It's entirely possible the investors arranged things to be at his advantage. I'll slip inside and make certain we have an uninterrupted exit. Will you allow me to join you? I have some experience of Imperial faculties, and should matters take a turn for the worse, I would hope to be of at least some use. Very good, that should be enough to guarantee us a way out of the castrum. Beyond that, however, we'll need a ship to ferry the conscripts back to the Enclave. Even if every skiff we have, it would take several trips to evacuate everyone. Confederate Sikabon, on the other hand, would require only a single run, and leave us far less vulnerable in the water, assuming, of course, Rashu can be convinced to part with one. I take the lead on this. I've dealings with Rashu and the pirates before. I won't be alone, will I, Narn? Much appreciated. I quite fancy parlaying with pirates again. It's just a shame Lisa won't be there to reprise her role. I'm certain you would make a pervasive pair, but I think I'll accompany you to these negotiations all the same. My lord, the rule of Doma shall be seen consorting with common brigands. Come now, Gary, they stood with us against the Empire. If we ask their aid once more, I mistreat them as equals. My presence shall serve to demonstrate our insincerity. Indeed, my lord, pray forgive my presumption. By your leave, Master Alphanon, I shall be about our task. And we shall be on our way to Onokoro. Time is short and Rashu may take some convincing. Let me see. Yeah, the Domain Enclave is here. Okay. Way is up this way, right? It's been a while since I've been here. Other surveys I didn't expect to see. What brings you the noble lore of Doma into the company of build ratchets such as we? couldn't offer Doman chains in place of Golini ones. I'm afraid you've wasted a trip. And what fine subject you would make. If your fleet at our disposal, our restoration efforts would be hastened tenfold. But let us speak seriously. I stand before you not to demand your fealty, but to request your aid once more. You might be confused. Doman's liberation was but a means to an end. We aid you only to save ourselves. Now we have no incentive. We have sworn no oath to you, and I will not come running like hounds at their master's whistle. I will not presume to treat you as thus. I come to position your corporation as an ally of equal standing. Equal standing, you say? Seems a bit lopsided to me. What's your profit for us in all this? Profit? Must you always think in such short-sighted terms? Have you ever heard of doing the right thing? Have you ever heard of pirates, little miss? You'll find that we're simple souls. You pay our teeth, you sail in peace. Die as our due, and we take it by force. We pull you out of the water if we see you drowning, but we're not in the business of doing something for nothing. Calm yourself, Mistress Sally. We did not come here to moralize. We came here to talk, and there's much to be said. According to records recovered after your liberation, the relatives of your Doman-born brethren were among those conscripted to the Imperial Army. As you may be aware, we recently negotiated the return of said conscripts. Many, alas, will arrive to find no families waiting for them, no homes to grant them shelter. I would ask you to offer them a place in the Confederacy, and we would not be rescuing strangers, but welcoming brothers and sisters into your ranks. Has not the Confederacy been in need of new recruits? You seem well informed of our affairs, Lord Hean. The losses we suffered at the Galenian hands are no secret, but since we drove them out of Doma, the Ruby Sea has come alive with traders and travelers. So many vessels attack, so few pirates attacks them. We could do with some more hands on deck, and doubly so if they're familiar with the inner workings of the Empire. Very well, the Confederacy agrees to your request. You will have your ship. Before that, we must do something for me. The vessel I have in mind was damaged during the Battle of the Empire. But we've mended her, she is yet to be declared seaworthy. She is sound enough down below, but when you load her up with the constructs and the waterline rises, the upper planks will best be free of cracks. Assuming you want your people to stay dry, you'll do the favor of swimming around the hull to check for weaknesses. That is, if Doman Lords are not averse to getting the robes wet. Not this, Doman Lord. If we each expect a third of the ship, it should be done thrice. That's the spirit. The ship is moored at Quicksilk Pier. Our apprentice shipwright will be on deck to your port. Look for a lad named Inahashi. I thought I had an knack for parlaying with pirates. For the record, my previous attempt was unmitigated success, and yes, I should have quit while I was ahead. Well, I thought the rumors exaggerated, but the young lord lives up to his reputation. Let's find the ship. I guess it's off this way. I have no time for fates. Damage there, okay. Where's this? Okay, here it is. Spot a small crack in one of the planks. Oh, there they are, okay. Oh, I am the shipwright, or apprentice shipwright. Did you find anything that might need attention? The section I inspected seems solid enough. On the port side near the bow, you say? Alright, I'll have a look and see what I can do. apologies, I seem to lag behind. I could float in that gentle sea all day. Otherwise, I'm happy to report no visible cracking or holes in my section of the hull. You're Lord Hean. This captain sent you to inspect my hull. Call me a mercy. Forgive us this discourtesy, my lord. It is quite alright. In fact, I rather enjoyed it. I take it you were of Doma. Yes, my lord. The Imperials took my father away after the uprising. I had nowhere else to turn. The Confederacy became my family. But someone told me they're releasing the conscripts now. Maybe my father may be among them. Not that I can go back. There's a leading once you've joined. How fair is a lady? Is she seaworthy? Captain, we found a small crack in the port side, but I'll have it fixed before you know it. I see you pet the boy. Did he tell you his story? He babbles when he's nervous. Should his father be among the conscripts as he hopes? I mean to give him the choice to leave his life. If he chooses, I expect to see they are provided for. I've heard that those who join the Confederacy forsook all ties to kin and homeland. Is that oh so easily put aside? If I allow it, I see in him the lad I was 25 years ago. You say the words you mean to them. The yearning for home still lingers. My family's long dead, and I know that's life is my lot, but he has scarce dipped his toes of us. If there's a life for him in Doma, you should have the chance to live it. Well said. The Empire's conquest is over to many and more, be it Yangtze or out in Ruby Sea. We have the duty to ensure that Hanashi and others like him are free to dwell where they desire. Then the matter is settled. I'll make preparations to cast off. Well, my friends, it seems we have our ship. Let's return to the Enclave. Alright, let's go ahead and head back and actually teleport there this time. Set on in. Seems Yukiri and Alphanaut have completed their task before us. They've been waiting. We scouted the structure and determined the swiftest path to safety. In the event of hostilities, we'll lead the conscripts outside of all possible days. From there, the Confederacy has pledged a ship to ferry us across the One River. Now that we have but to attend the exchange, I pray to Kami these precautions were unnecessary. While we were putting our contingency plans in place, I left Hikaru in charge of organizing transport for the Imperial prisoners. You'll see they arrive at the appointed hour, leaving us the free to rendezvous with the Confederate allies. Come, they await us on the bigger riverbank not far from the castrum. I think Yama is the one I want to go to, I think. Yes, that was correct, okay. That's at the ship right there. Body's assembled then. I am ready for what lies ahead, I trust. Lest there be any confusion, though, the tower across the waters to be seen of the exchange, that and whatever else Ushe has planned. But regardless of the ambassador's intentions, we'll bring our people home. Yugiri, you are to evacuate the constructs at the first sign of trouble. Yes, my lord. We meanwhile shall cover this escape and lend what support we can. Your ship awaits you at the Castro's loading docks. She will see you safely home. And all stand ready to play their part. Come, let us be about it.
At last, the hour has come. The conclusion to these negotiations will mark a new beginning for Dorma and the Empire. A first step on the road to peaceful coexistence.
Indeed. We are ready to proceed with the exchange when you are. Forgive my curiosity, Ambassador, but is there a purpose to these containers you bring with you?
Oh, the supply crates. They are filled with materials we hoped might be of use in Dorma's restoration. I meant to gift them to you at our last meeting, but we had so much else to discuss.
How very generous. I confess I had not expected such compassion, welcome though it is. But then I was also surprised by the news that one of our captives had delivered herself into your custody ahead of time. A minor discrepancy I shall overlook in the spirit of the occasion.
Are you perhaps referring to me, Lord Hien?
Yotsuyu.
Orphan of the Nairi, widow of Sashihai, and acting Viceroy of Dorma. You and your people are mine to govern, mine to punish!
Well, well. It would seem your shattered mind is mended. As per our agreement with the Ambassador, you are free to return with him to the Empire. Your authority as acting Viceroy, however, is no longer recognized here.
My position is not for you to decide, little lordling. All who resist the rule of the Empire must be purged. Such was the order given to me by Lord Xenos himself. I will reign here in this putrid, pestilent swamp until the last of you has been broken. This land shall know no dawn. I will spew forth darkness and drown all in eternal night. And high above you I shall shine, uncaring, cold and distant as the moon!
What has she done?
Oh gods, this is a summoning.
A Dorman citizen has called forth an icon in direct violation of our primary agreement. The negotiations have failed. Abandon the captives and make preparations to withdraw.
But Ambassador!
Disobey me, Pilus, and you disobey the Emperor. Make preparations to withdraw! Now!
As you command.
My lord, you must fall back!
You ask me to run?
Strategic withdrawal, yes.
Spare my pride, would you? I know this foe is beyond me. The field is yours. We will withdraw, but not without our countrymen. I want every soul accounted for. Every soul!
My lord.
I knew you would not flee. I see now the strength which flows from that baleful light of yours. But I have become Tsukuyomi, goddess of the moon and divinity of night. What power can compare to such celestial majesty? I shall plunge all I despise into darkness. And within that black abyss, even your light shall flicker and fail. Come, let us cast the stalks and look upon the fate of Dorman. I see a future in which the sun sets on this wretched land. Once and for all!
Alright, looks like we have a trial. So we'll go ahead and get to that right in the next video. I'll go ahead and end things off here, and the next time we'll go ahead and do this.